Had to get up in the store and get some bigger Ritz. You know what I'm saying? Got to get the bigger Ritz. You know, get some of these squares, some of these. You know what I'm saying? Yay, yay. You want to smoke on? Where that microfiber at? Dust these glasses off one time. How y'all doing? How y'all doing today out there? Y'all doing pretty good? Yeah. Straight from the slave ship edition. We're gonna talk a little bit. Yeah. Damn. Damn. Trying to get this mark off this goddamn shit, man. There we go. That's gonna have to work. My fishing glasses on. You know what I'm saying? I know some people crying about them, but these are a brand called Pelagic. So go and look them up if you want to. You might come find out these ain't fucking cheap. Is that my co-worker? Well. My co-worker getting pulled over by the popo. Oh man, that sucks. Is that her? Oh yeah. He been waiting for somebody to blow through that stop sign all day. Oh, he gave her a warning. He gave her a warning. That's good. That's sweet of him. That was a $500 right there. That was a $500. Let me give her the. She laughed at me. I gave her the tisk finger. Yeah, man. Let's get into it though, man. It is these Africans, descendants of slaves, and folks, man. When it comes to election time and stuff, you know, I don't think a lot of them are working as poll workers, working in some of these presidential offices, helping people get introduced to the laws that's going around, doing anything of that's going to move the needle in the political atmosphere. Hold up. That's loud. I don't think they doing. God damn, come on, man. Come on, that goddamn loud ass shit. Now give me a second, man. Let that jet get past us. Yeah, like I was saying, man. I don't think they're doing anything, man, that's going to needle for here. I think they do a good job sometimes of educating people on new laws and some of these candidates out here. But overall, like the I don't get down with them because most of that shit ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know, most of these ADOS or whatever you want to call it, most of these folks, man, they're not doing nothing besides being on social media running their mouth about something or somebody. And I think that's disingenuous, especially when you constantly berating political people that's running for president. You know, I think it's dumb. I mean, okay, cool. You want to hit on Kamala Harris about her past policies? That's valid. But the relentless fight to not get her votes is ridiculous, because if you're going to tell somebody to vote or not to vote for somebody like Kamala Harris over Trump, then you're going to get what you get. Because only two people are going to win. Only two people are going to win. There ain't enough ADOS or FBA people around here to all get together and vote for one person and win. There ain't enough, because a lot of black folks don't even know about this shit. ADOS or FBA don't even know. Now I know some of these cats go out here gonna call me a tether and stuff like that. But that's okay. You know, because first of all, I'm not a tether. You know what I'm saying? My grandma was raised on the plantation out there in where is it? Where's that damn Bolivar, Mississippi? So is it Bolivar, Mississippi? I think it's Bolivar, Mississippi. So I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? If you could have more energy for tethers and political figures, you know, that's crazy. Because these guys, these political figures, whether or not they're doing a good job or not, they got more power and doing more than running their mouth on social media. And half the time, they're the ones who creating the divide. You know, always looking at who's the police, who's the infiltrator, or whatever the case may be. That's cool and dandy and all, but at the same time hell, sometimes the person who's pointing the finger all the goddamn time is the police. Went from I'm always worried about who's getting paid by who and stuff like that. Notice how we the only motherfuckers out here, right? Consistently got people out here worried about the wrong motherfucking things. More worried about what Bootsy got to say and Cardi B and all these other no political equity having ass motherfuckers got to say. It's crazy how you could always, you know, even to equate the African hairline, the African people from Nigeria and stuff like that, hairlines. Like if I look around the United States and start looking at all these black folks fucking hairlines, goddamn, half of these women out here, some of these black women out here ain't got no hairlines. They saluting way back the fuck here. They walking around with they with the drop top down. You know what I'm saying? The gangster ling, ooh. You know what I'm saying? Always this weird ass divide shit, man. It's like what do you want? Everybody on your side? If we all think alike, we'll all be fucked up. You know? We'll all be fucked up. I seen some of these FBA ADOS motherfuckers talk about Kamala Harris more than they talked about Trump. Makes no sense. And now I'm seeing a lot of these cats out here voting for Trump. You know, how you gonna be FBA, ADOS, and vote for the same? I know y'all want to say, oh, the Democrat. It's 2024. It's 2024. It's a different time, different atmosphere, and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to keep equating a party to slavery and Jim Crow and shit in 2024, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. In 2025, Trump is going to be president, and all the white nationals, the KKK, every single white supremacy, white extremist groups are voting for Trump. So you voted for the party who you voted for a party who has all the people that want your ass out there picking cotton. You might as well get in line behind the white nationalists, the KKK, the Proud Boys. You might as well get in line behind them with the gear in the rear. You might as well. You might as well get in line with them with the gear in the rear, because they ain't about to. Because you ain't about to be saved. You ain't about to be saved, homie. One dude ain't gonna save the day. Well, you could say, well, you know, the NASDAQ or SP 500 or whatever went up by X amount of points the day that he won. Okay, that's nice. That is nice, right? So you willing to give up? So you mean to tell me you rather coincide with short-term gain over long-term? Damn, he's still there. He been there this morning. Term gain. That's mind-boggling. And the reason why it is because he only gonna have 4 years. You know that Project 2025 stuff, if it's implemented for these for schools, you know a lot of y'all gonna be fucked out here. You know all them black kids that's up over there in them states, that's surrounded by racist motherfuckers that have the political equity. You know what they're gonna be teaching them in schools? You know what they're gonna bring back in schools? Y'all better watch it. Y'all better watch it. Y'all better watch it. Because y'all gonna be, and then some of these cats out there's gonna be like, oh, they might get rid of some of this Section 8 housing and government assistance programs and stuff like that. Some dude gonna be like, yeah, because I want people to get off their ass. You know, some people have hardships, right? Some people have legitimate fucking hardships. Not only have legitimate hardships, some people out here are disabled and can't need a little help. Some people live in areas to where they can afford rent, just like some of these school teachers in California living in trailers on the side of the road, right? But majority of the people that's on these government programs are not black. Imagine that. So it's crazy, man, how people that can afford stuff is always trying to tell somebody that can't afford stuff what to do. That's crazy. You know, all this stuff is my opinion, man. I could be wrong. It's just my 3 cents. I could be wrong, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know if I got to show my genealogy or whatever. I got to show where my grandma's from. I got to show the census report where she was from and all this stuff. Do I have to show all that? Because if I did, that'd be a shame, because a lot of these cats out here, you know, when you go against the grain, they quick to call you a tether, a coon, a Uncle Tom, or anything that they could say to delegitimize you because of your talking points. If people really wanted to get ahead in life and stuff like that, need to stop worried about the little things in life and attacking people that look like you, and and more worried about getting together. I don't see none of these motherfucking ADOS, FBA motherfuckers consistently getting people together in these small towns or in these cities to talk about the political atmosphere, so we could get some political equity. You know what I'm saying? So people can take us serious, because then people ain't gonna take us serious when the only thing we could do is ask. You know what I'm saying? The only thing we could do is ask. And I don't want to hear about, well, if Kamala Harris got in office, then what? I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. You got mayors, governors, constables, you got congressmen, senators, councilmen, women. You got all type of people within your city that can help you, right? But you can't sit up over there and keep asking these guys. You have to demand it, and how you demand it is with political equity. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why when it comes to Israel and their shit they got going on in the Jewish community and the Jewish students, and how quick they was to get Congress, the House, and the Senate to sit up over there and talk about how they being treated in these educational institutions. And the same thing with the Chinese. You think that they just sat down and waited for another person to randomly attack a Chinese person? No, they have political equity. They had people. They made sure people got up there on the House floor and the Senate floor and pushed the agenda for them. That's what they did. You know what I'm saying? People got to stop asking. And that's the number one thing. If you're going to talk about something, yeah, I'm glad DEI is done, which is stupid. If you're going to say that and all this other stuff, well, then you need to be worried about political equity in the black community. And having two entities, FBA and ADOS, alone separates people. You see what I'm saying? Oh, and another thing, when all this black vote stuff and stuff like that, and the black man and voting and tearing people down because of that shit, all that shit should have been ignored, and it shouldn't have been a talking point. That shit alone shouldn't have been ignored and shouldn't have been a talking point. Because only thing that's going to do is divide motherfuckers. If the news and all these people on the news and stuff like that want to talk about this shit, you let them talk about it. And motherfuckers could have been talking about something else. Because that shit's not going to move the needle. That shit's only going to create divide and have people talking about some shit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, and take time away from stuff that should be talked about. You know, it ain't gonna do shit. I want somebody to tell me how that shit was gonna do anything, and then to come to find out, 75% of black men that voted for Kamala Harris. That's why you don't gotta be. That's why I be trying to tell folks, man, stop listening to these cats. Stop listening to them. They're not gonna. They don't. The news don't. They there to push their agenda, their way of view. They're not there to give you the raw diggity dog news. Sure, you know what I'm saying? They're not there to do that, because if they was, it would be unbiased. And you know, I do not believe in having to join a group to push political agendas to create unity. I believe you have to join a fucking group. But it seems like all these black folks, it seems like some of these so-called black leaders out here always want to coin a name and a phrase or something like that so they can have their name attached to something. So they can say in the history books, I did that. But that's not enough. That's good and dandy and all, but we raggedy out here. And folks can't tell me nothing about when I said that. When I say that, it ain't a good thing or bad thing, but it's a thing that basically, when I say it, we raggedy out here, is we damn for sure need improvement. We damn for sure need improvement. And it's crazy how the only accountability that ADOS and these FBAs normally give, well, I would say just like the whole black community only give, is to the shit that don't mean nothing. It's to the shit that don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't even, we're not even holding none of these political figures accountable. Accountable doesn't mean you just getting on your channel or sending out a tweet and shit like that running your mouth. How do you hold these cats accountable? You can't hold people accountable by way of social media just by jaw jabbing. It don't work like that. just by jaw jabbing. It don't work like that, homie. It don't. It don't. That's the easy way out. That right there by itself is the easy way out, homie. It's the easy way out, and it's not going and it hasn't gotten this where Tupac said it a long time ago. All motherfuckers do is want to sit up over here and talk, you know, and everybody out, and it seems like folks out here want to is fighting over who's gonna be the HNIC in this movement, but nobody wants to really push the gun, you know, and I could be put in that category too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not exempt from that category too. You know what I'm saying? Of jaw jabbers and shit like that. I'm not exempt from it. I'm not exempt from scrutiny and all that stuff. Just like y'all ain't exempt from scrutiny and all that shit. Motherfuckers should be getting in y'all asses too. But that's what people think, that they think that because somebody want to give them constructive criticism and stuff like that is always a bad thing, and nobody want to admit when they wrong and when they could have done better. Nobody want to do it. Everybody's scared. Look what I found, man. I found a squirt. I found the old squirty. And it's crazy how, like, every time you talk to a ADOS or FBA person, it's crazy how, like, a lot of times it's like when you write or the first thing they want to do is hit on your looks and or cuss you out and shit like that instead of hit on the message. You know, it's crazy how people do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Take Tariq Nasheed, for instance. He's calling people zesty and shit like that, but he talks with a little. It sounds like he got like a little sugar in his tank. You know, he's a little sugary. You know what I'm saying? He's a little sugary. I ain't never wear a hair unit, but he wear the whole hair hat. He had the unit on his head. You know, the thing that bald men do these days. They put the glue up, the sew on weave, and then they put the like Deontay Wilder did. Deontay Wilder had the hair extensions. He had hair extensions. You don't get locks that motherfucking quick. He had hair extension going around here looking like Mario Van Peebles and shit. And what's that movie? Universal Soldier and shit. Got the little braid coming down over here, looking like Nilly Vanilli and shit. Yeah. That boy be talking. He be sounding like he like Medea's little brother or something. That's what he be sounding like. But I ain't gonna, you know what, scratch that, man. I don't need to be talking about that dude like that, man, because he do some good things. But I just wish that, you know, instead of having these little rallies and stuff like that, I think that he should get people around that area and start having political events, so you can start getting people to in office to start creating some political equity. But what do I know? You know, if you want to have these little things and bring some comedians in there, set the bar up with some Hennessy and shit like that, some C-Rock and all that shit. That shit is cool and dandy and all, but it ain't fixing nothing, dog. It ain't fixing nothing. And it ain't gonna get us nowhere. But what do I know? You know, all of this is my motherfucking 3 cents. You know, I'm not over here trying to tell people what to do with their life, who to follow, what they should subscribe to, what they shouldn't subscribe to. I'm just giving my 3 cents, and I wish that as a whole that we could do better. You know, I was at work today. We was talking about the education portion of Project 2025, and it was a good discussion that we had because it wasn't no arguing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no arguing. We was going through it, and it doesn't look good for some people. You know, it doesn't state what the out-of-state tuition is going to be like, Will they still be able to use fast food out of state? It doesn't say where the it doesn't say will the kids get free lunch, but it does say it will be part of a loan program. They're trying to get rid of the Department of Education and all this stuff, and it's kind of like if this stuff happens, it's going to set a precedence for a lot of things to come, and and um, and a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about will probably pass because the House and the Senate is all going to be controlled by one singular political party, you know, and now it's going to be up to the states. Um, they want to push it up to the states for the educational portion, but a lot of these cats in the state and these states, especially California and New York, the people that's in uh, that's going to be making these decisions don't know what uh, uh, the working class kids, the working class parents, people who live in neighborhoods that are not that nice as the other neighborhoods, their needs and their concerns. All the way down to charter schools, all the way down to the Indian reservations with their school system that they have is going to be affected as well. And people need to understand that, man. It's just not, and they're not talking about this shit. You know what I'm saying? On how their kids are going to be affected. And not only their kids, how they're going to be affected when they want to go to school. All the way down to the school, your college loans. They want to privatize it now. So they want to privatize that shit now. So now that's another thing people are going to be thinking about. What kind of interest rates you going to get with that? It's crazy. It's crazy, but it doesn't say anything in there about the cost of college is too high. You know what I'm saying? They're not hitting on that. They're not hitting on these teachers and their pay. They're not hitting on that. And so a lot of this shit is going to be it's not well planned out. If anything, when I read the Project 2025, a lot of this stuff is not planned out, and it looks like it's a theory in some people's it's a theory in people's heads that they don't even know if it's going to work out. But they're going to but mark my words, some of that stuff in there, they're going to try it. And instead of fixing what we have, and instead of fixing what we have, they're just going to get rid of it and start all over. And with that being said, people need to be looking at these people's credentials. That's going to be starting all this shit over. How much money and the new systems or that they're going to be using to start all this shit over. To pay for these people. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff is going to have to start all fucking over. If they do what the Project 2025 says and what Trump has said, because that's what he said. Over regulations, they're gonna gut a lot of these government entities, and they're gonna get rid of some of them as well. So what do I know? My 3 cents. Peace.